All right, guys, we got another video. This one is called Don't Be a Stepdaddy.
What is going on, young men between 18 and 29? I am the over 50 guy. Listen, one of the worst things that you could do, in my opinion, particularly, and I would say this for men of any age, but particularly in your age or at your age now, if you're between 18 and 29, is do the whole step parent thing. I know from experience about that gig because I did it not only once but twice when I was younger.
I did that too, man. I think most guys who are heavily dating, you're going to run into, a few of these women who have 1-2 kids or whatever. Even in your young 20s, you experience this. Because a lot of girls, they get pregnant early, have kids early. I know I experienced that, and we tolerated it. At least I did, because we were trying to get to that box. I mean, I'm just keeping it real. The younger I was, I didn't care about nothing else. I was trying to get to that box. But let's see what he has to say.
And I would absolutely say that is a horrible deal for men. Now, I want to be very clear in saying that it has nothing to do with the kids, because they are just that. They're kids and they don't know and they don't understand. But you do. And what I would tell you guys first and foremost about that, and why I believe that is a horrible deal for men, is that A, you get all the responsibility but no rights, right? As a step parent, you are absolutely expected to love, provide, protect, and do all of that for this child. But you really have no rights because it's not your child. I know of plenty of men who have taken care of children, worked, provided, and all of that, and they go to discipline the child and mom says no. In other words, yeah, you can take care of them, you can provide money for them, you can do all of that stuff, but whenever it comes to something that I don't want you to do, then you have no rights.
He hit that on the head. He hit that 110% on the head, guys. I was dating somebody and she had 2 kids. And, something came up to where they were doing something they shouldn't have been doing. And I said something to one of them, like, hey, don't do that or something like that. And then she was like, yo, wait a minute, what? What'd you say? And I repeated myself. I said, yeah, I said, you need to stop doing that. And then she was like, well, you need to come get me and holler at me. That's not for you to do. Right. And so once that was said to me, there's something that went off in my head, and it was like, okay, cool. I got it. And from that point on in my head, did I stay there? Yes, I stayed there that night. I continued to mess with her, as far as the sexual thing was concerned. But as far as everything else, that's it. I knew in my head that it was over. It wasn't going to go any further than that, because the funny thing is, she would expect me to do other things with them that a father would do, right? Play with them, cut their hair, whatever it is that a father would do for a son. But then when certain things came to pass, she had an issue with it, right? So if it's not benefiting her, then saying it's a red light. So they play these games, they move the goalpost, so to speak, or whatnot. But then at the same time, they want somebody to be a father to them, but they don't play by all the rules. They're not playing fair.
Right? With your own child, at least you can listen, this is my child as well as yours. When you're a step parent, you don't have that. Secondly, you will always deal with some other man in your relationship and in your life, essentially. I was dating a girl who had a daughter, and this is consequently what broke up our relationship. Dad wasn't in the picture for years. And all of a sudden, he wants to pop up and he wants to see his daughter and this, that, and the other. And, of course, mom is, well, it's about her and her father and this, that, and the other. So you will be quickly pushed to the side when it comes to dad. And I don't care if he's in the picture now or if he shows up later. You will play second to that.
You definitely will play second to that. And for any man that is out there dealing with somebody with kids, if the girl you're dealing with tells you, hey, I just want to let you know, let's just call him Jerry. Jerry's in town and, he's coming to see the kids, and, I just want to make sure you're cool with that or whatever. And, okay, cool. Where's he staying? Oh, he's going to stay here. He's going to stay on the couch. It's going to be completely innocent or whatever. Run and don't stop. Run and do not look back. Just keep running, keep running, keep running. Okay. I'm telling you this now. That's something you have to deal with. Am I saying that this is, for everybody? Does this apply to every woman? No, I'm not. But guys, when I'm making this content, the stuff that you see and the things that I'm saying on here, I'm only talking about the majority. I'm not talking about the exception. There's always going to be an exception. I am simply talking about the majority. And in the majority of cases, guys, this is a no. You're going to have to deal with the baby's father, the father of the child. And especially if that child is really young. If that child is really young, you can never count that father out of the picture. You can't. If that baby is fresh, you shouldn't be messing with a woman anyway if she has a young child by someone else. You just shouldn't. I'm telling you that now. Please take heed to this and run with it.
The child's mother and the father always has a bond. It's almost as if they're married because that child ties them together. So they will always be around each other. They will always be on the phone. That is not something that, from experience, guys, I'll tell you that is something that you really don't want to deal with. Another thing that I think about is how, and I mentioned it earlier, you stay with these children long enough and you develop relationships, love these children because you take care of them and you look at them, and for whatever reason, if mom decides to take them away, you have no rights or no access to these children that you have developed this bond with as if they were your own. Of course, it's a great deal for mom because at the end of the day, she has help. And whether that's from the father or the stepfather, it all benefits her. And no cut against her. I mean, do what you do. If you got men out there like I was early on that was crazy enough to do that, by all means, take advantage of that. But men, I am telling you that it is a horrible deal. I have been at hospitals. I've had hospital bills and things of that nature for children that barely even speak to me today. I have provided well and above. And, no, you're not getting that money back. Everything that you invest into your stepchild or whatever, if things should happen to go south between you and mom, no one's giving you a refund. Certainly mom isn't. You would like to think that, you pour into the life of these kids. And even if mom, wasn't really letting the kids know how they should appreciate and respect you, you would think that, especially if these kids are of age, they would do that on their own. They won't, right? They absolutely will not. So at the end of the day, guys, I would prefer you definitely not have children at this age, because again, you're building yourself, right? And you need to be selfish about your resources and your time in order to build yourself adequately. So I would say don't have any children at all at this point in your life. But absolutely don't sign on to be a step parent, a stepfather at this time in your life.
I mean, if you're going to be wise, you're going to, women with kids, I hate to sound like this, but the majority of them are simply fun toys. They're fun toys. And that should be it. And that should be all. There should be a line drawn in the sand. Okay. If a woman with children approaches you and she's hinting at wanting you to, accept her kids and be with her, possibly marrying her, and these kids aren't yours, especially if you don't have any kids. If you don't have any kids at all, and the only kids that are in the equation are hers, it's not a good, it's going to go against you in every single way. Emotionally, financially, every way you can think of is going to go away from you. And it's a natural thing for any child to want to form a bond with their biological parents, right? You're never going to be able to run that down. You're never going to be able to beat that. You know, some daughter or some son or boy who wants to, you know, have a relationship with their real father, whenever he comes into the picture, it could be, you know, sporadically, but still, if he's in the picture, that's usually going to trump your card, right? It just is. So think about that really hard before you make a decision concerning something like this.
Horrible deal. And I totally understand if you're in a situation like that now, you believe that, you know what, nope, I'm doing a good thing. These kids love me. I love them like they're my own. And that is great. I've been there and done that. But again, if something should happen, because you have all of the responsibility now, you have all of the expectation now, but for whatever reason, if mom decides to walk out with those kids, you have no rights. You're left with the same thing you came in with. Nothing. So because of that reason alone, it's a bad deal. It's just a bad deal for men. So if you're between 18 and 29, please, if you are with a young lady who has children, to say that you guys can't be friends and that's one thing. But a serious relationship or marriage, to a woman in that situation, I would say, in my opinion, in my experience, that would not be a good deal for you guys. And I would run from a situation like that.
I mean, that's how realer can you get? You know, I don't know how more serious you can get with that, guys. I mean, truer words have never been spoken, you know, and he's speaking from experience. I'm speaking from experience. Like I said earlier in the video, I'm not saying that it is impossible to have a relationship and have a fruitful relationship with someone, with a woman, with children. I'm not saying that it's not possible or people aren't doing it or haven't done it. I'm just saying, when you talk about law of averages, okay, statistically, it's a losing battle. Okay, more times than not, these end terribly. They never end well. I'd say, if I had to put a number on it, I would say 7 out of 10, even 8 out of 10 are not going to end well for the man. Okay, it's not. And these are statistics that you can go look up yourself if you like and find out if you really want to get curious. But like I said, and I've looked up the numbers, the stats, but I've also, have experienced it on my own. And this guy is saying the same thing. You know what I mean? So the older you get in the dating scene, you're gonna run into women, a lot of them with kids, especially if you're in your 30s and up. A lot of these women are going to have previous relationships or whatnot, and you're going to have to deal with that if you really want a relationship with some of these women. And that's unfortunate, right? So a wise man should look for a woman, especially if you want children of your own. You should definitely look for other women who have not had any children, right? That's what I would advise. Do what you will, but I'm just letting you know. I'm trying to save you some time, trouble, money, drama, all of that. And that's going to do it for the video, guys. If you like the content, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button. And if you want me to react to another video, check something out, don't hesitate to send it to me and I will check it out. And most likely we'll probably do a video on it. But with that being said, guys, I'm out of here and I will see you guys in the next video.